All right, we are live. It's the Spinning Backfist MMA show for Tuesday, September 10th, UFC Noche edition. It's finally here, the big Mexican Independence Day card that's been teased for, I don't know how long it's been teased, maybe a year, maybe under a year, but we've been looking forward to it for a while because what the hell is the UFC going to look like at the Sphere? It's finally here. It's Robbie, Jack Mac, Big Ev, as always. How we doing? How we feeling?
Feeling good. Big card. I feel like it's been like a lot of I feel like now all the talks like the ticket prices and like Dana's kind of telling like the story, the chapters of this, like this love letter to Mexico fighting culture and whatever. I just want to see it now. Like now I feel like I've waited. I just want to like see what he's talking about, what it looks like. I'm worried for him a little bit.
You're worried that it's not going to live up to the hype?
Yes.
And I'm also a little bit worried from the perspective of the pacing. Maybe like if that, like, what are these movies? Like, maybe
if every fight goes to decision, it's going to be a long night with a bunch of movies.
A lot of movies, and it's like, will I want? Because sometimes, I mean, after fights, pay-per-view, it's kind of you go into it and you like after it, you're kind of reacting. You go on Twitter, maybe you get food or whatnot. That's the pacing's nice, but I don't know if I'm going to sit there and watch. But I'll tell you what, Dana's going to have the social media numbers ready. There's going to be somebody tracking numbers left and right. And when he sits down on that post press conference, he's going to tell you this was the most watched, viewed social media impression sports event in the history of the world.
He's going to drop his nuts on the table, flex on everybody, shit on the haters a little bit, tell everyone John Jones is the GOAT, and fucking get out of there before someone even gets a question off.
Yes.
Before we continue, though, we got to remind everyone, New Amsterdam Vodka. I got the Pink Whitney over here in the Pup Punk studio. This episode is brought to you by New Amsterdam Vodka. They are the official vodka of Barstool Sports, the official vodka of the UFC, and the official vodka of winning. It's a champion vodka, the best in the biz. You match it up against any other vodka, and it's a knockout for New Amsterdam. You know everyone's going to be drinking this at the Sphere this weekend, in Vegas, back here in New York, all over the world, in Mexico. Whether you're catching the pay-per-view at your favorite bar or hanging out at home listening to us talk about it, celebrate your wins with insanely smooth New Amsterdam vodka. The Pink Whitney, the regular stuff, all of their products are amazing. Find your wins with New Amsterdam. We love New Amsterdam. Great, great stuff. Always smooth vodka, best bang for your buck. Shout out New Amsterdam. One thing I'm curious about with the Sphere card, you mentioned the movies. So Dana said that there's going to be like chapters of one big movie celebrating Mexican combat sports independence. Are you going to have to, like, is the movie connected? Is one chapter connected to the last chapter where it's like, what if people are just watching the pay-per-view and not the prelims? Are they going to be confused? They're going to be like, who's that guy?
Also, now I don't want to, like, we love Mexico on this podcast. The history of it's a lot of like military. There's like some ups and downs.
I think they'll ignore some of that,
and like there's like a lot of like Mexico is doing well than not doing well. Like, will they get into that, or is it just about?
Or does it stick with just combat sports? Also, is it like animated movies? Are there actors? Is it like documentary style movies? I was thinking like there's a bunch of actors that are big UFC fans, like Miles Teller you see all the time at fights. Did Dana call up Miles Teller and get him to be in a movie?
I feel like we would have heard about this, right?
So he
probably, unless it was so under wraps.
He said it's combat sports straight. Like I'm pretty sure it's not going to be like Mexican like history. It's going to be like combat sport history, like how they came to be this like rich fighting country kind of thing. At least that's the way he's described it. I don't think it's going to have anything to do with their like politics and anything like that, or like anything that's happened. Like
they won't show anything bad. This is all celebration.
No, I think it's going to be a prop up. Like he said, his word is love letter. Like I think it's going to be just like, oh, like this incredible Mexican boxer from 1907. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to be that style, and it's going to do like 6 or 8 parts.
The walkouts are going to be sick too, based on we interviewed Brian Ortega and Marab. We're going to put those interviews out this week, of course. And Brian Ortega told us he had to submit his walkout song like a month ago, maybe longer, and he was the last one to submit it because it's, they're doing a whole show. You're probably getting custom graphics for every walkout. It's going to be sick.
Yeah, and it's a great point. Like like I was saying, and what I thought of looking at a 1907 boxer. Obviously, I mean, I don't even know if there was film back then. There was, but I don't know how much. It's going to be tough to put that on the Sphere because the graphics of it are so much less than just like, oh, here's a black and white footage from 1932. It's like, no, that you have to fit it to the Sphere's dimensions. But obviously, they've been playing it for a while. I am shocked not shocked, but it's like, it makes sense. But you would think Dana, if he was going to celebrate a country, right, at the Sphere, it would be America. It's just like surprising to me. But I think he probably saw this as the perfect opportunity. And the colors of Mexico are going to look sick on the Sphere.
Oh, yeah. Because the Aztec designs they've been doing, even some of the posters for UFC Noche, like they get a lot of shit for their graphic design. I feel like they kind of knocked it out of the park with this one.
They've been doing a little bit better with the graphics, in my opinion. They had a good one with DDP and Izzy. They've been doing a little bit better, but it's going to be interesting. Yeah, and I'm also interested from the business perspective. People are talking about losing money. So I don't know. I was talking with Lee about this. I don't know how much money Riyadh season's putting behind this because Riyadh season will lose $10 to $15 million for putting on a fight with Bud Crawford, but they don't care. Like it's just they're just like, oh, that's marketing. So it's like, oh, UFC lost money on this, but it's like I don't know. Lee was telling me because I was looking at it from unders and whatnot. We'll get into the betting, but I was thinking, hey, maybe he's going to up the bonuses. There'll be like a little bit of a. The last time it didn't go so well in London, but there'll be a little bit more.
He would never do it again.
But it's such a big card, Dana will up it. And then Lee said, well, with the money aspect, it feels like they're going to lose a lot on this. But then I said the Riyadh season. He said, well, I don't know if they're paying for all of it. So I guess we'll see. And then, but he has been hyping it up. I'm happy. The card isn't as great as we thought. I mean, Ode Osborne's on the main card, but maybe it wasn't the card as much as the spectacle.
It's the spectacle, exactly. Yeah, it's the whole event. Also, before we get into the card itself, kind of, I guess, big news from Dana this morning. He went on the news, I guess, just like it was a normal news program, and said that Conor McGregor will make his UFC return in early 2025. So we just keep inching a little further away. It almost feels like the classic, like, it's like they tied a fishing pole to me. And at the end of it, Conor McGregor's here. And no matter how far I run, I'm still that much far away from him. It's just, it's tough. I've been told everyone this year. I told everyone that would listen. We got no reason to panic. You hit the panic button if he doesn't fight by December. If he's not fighting by 2024, then maybe we start to panic. I don't want to hit the panic button, but I told everyone to hit it if he didn't fight this year. So now I'm saying 2025. I want to believe it. Conor has historically chosen like January as a good fight time for himself, but it's getting to the point where I'll believe it when I see it, I guess.
I've been there for like a year.
Yeah. You guys, I've been more delusional.
Maybe longer. I might have said 2 years ago he never fight again. I don't even know when I said that originally.
I've been more closer to you, Robbie, where I'm like, no, he'll be back, and if he wins one, Dana will give him a title shot.
Immediately.
But
as he should.
I am at close to my lowest point. I think we all are, but who knows? You never know. Like it's the return.
He said he was going to run for president of Ireland too, which I didn't like to hear that. I was just like, Jesus, dude, just fight once, and then you could go run for president. And I'll look into how to get a dual citizenship and vote over there. We will win the election, no doubt. I will be, in his whole party. But yeah, just win one fight first, and then we'll get to the election.
Yeah, I would assume he'll run for president one day, but I saw that and just rolled my eyes. It's like,
come on,
poor Mike Chandler, man.
Yeah, speaking of Mike Chandler,
basically just wasted his last like few years of like good. Chandler, he would have fought 4 times, at least
Yeah.
like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Speaking of Michael Chandler, there's a big walk with Michael Chandler coming up on Friday. And
Frank was
let's
really
just say,
giving a shit about it.
Frank the Tank goes off on Conor McGregor. And there was a great moment yesterday when Robbie asked Frank the Tank to name 10 UFC
I didn't want to
fighters.
be that guy, you know. I didn't want to be the name 3
but
songs.
No, but we don't want to ruin it. But what he says in this walk is insane. Like, it's one of the things.
It's funny.
People who hate Conor McGregor
I'm gonna
won't
love
even
it.
say that.
No.
Like they have at least a little bit of respect. This is insane, but that's the tease. Like we'll definitely tweet it out from Spinning Backfist.
Yes.
Could he name 10 UFC? Could he name 10 UFC fighters?
I don't think he could.
I don't know if he could name 3.
3. Yeah.
Michael Chandler.
Like, he didn't even start naming them. He just he laughed and kind of shrugged.
I don't think he can name John Jones. Like, not kidding. I'm not trying to be a dick.
No, I don't
like,
think
I just don't think he's like.
He might, if you say that, he might say is that Chandler's brother? Like, he might have the football connection.
Yeah.
More than the greatest of all time connection.
Dana's gonna be. You don't know who John Jones is?
I loved that Dana signed off a live stream this week with that as well. He was doing a Contender Series live stream or something. He's like, all right, motherfuckers, go watch the Contender Series live on ESPN. John Jones is the greatest of all time. Click.
Oh, can we need to, just for a brief second before we get to the card, just that in the last Contender Series that he literally just put a promo clip for John Jones to promote nothing.
Nothing, just to promote.
Literally,
and when they asked him about it too, he was so funny about it. He's like, "Oh, did you see that? Did we play that tonight? I didn't even realize.
I forgot." He's like, "Yeah, put this highlight reel of John Jones just in the middle of the broadcast."
This is brutal for me because I love Dana and I love the way he's trolling people with it. I think it's hysterical, but I am also a noted Jones hater. I wish he was doing this for Conor. I wish he was just hype, and maybe he'll get to that point, but. Yeah, I wish he was doing it for anyone but John Jones, but it does really make me laugh. I think his trolling's hysterical. And I disagree with him wholeheartedly about the pound for pound thing too. I agree with everyone that argues with him. That's he's not that active and he fought Surreal Gone. He's the greatest heavyweight of all time he just beat. Well, Surreal Gone's not really the greatest.
Maybe Dana's just this mastermind that is hyping him up so much that it's like, if you're the GOAT, you got to fight Tom Aspinall. If you really are, you have to do it.
He's reverse jinxing.
Yeah. He's it's a weird promo to get the fight that everyone wants.
Yeah.
The GOAT would never duck Tom Aspinall, right, John?
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't duck Tom Aspinall. You're the best.
Before we get into the actual card, let's tell everyone about DraftKings because we're, of course, going to be using DraftKings to bet on the card. It's going to be a historic night in the desert. And for the first time ever, the UFC is live inside the Sphere. Jump in on all of the Riyadh season Noche UFC action at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. The men's bantamweight title and the women's flyweight belt are both on the line for a stacked fight card. We're about to break it all down. Very excited for it. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a fighter to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select a fighter, and place your first bet. It's that simple. And speaking of stacked, if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $250 in bonus bets instantly. So let's make some history. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code BACKFIST. That's code BACKFIST for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
And if you're already on DraftKings, but your friends are getting involved, mother, father, sister, brother, whatever, have them use that code. It helps us because they see the spinning back fist effect, and then also it's a great way to get involved. Obviously, NFL is back, college football in full swing. And Saturday is going to be fun. I talked about it in our group chat, even though it was the last card, Sean Brady and Gilbert Burns. I was like, I'm not in college football UFC shape yet. I was not I was watching. I was just not. My cardio was not up to par yet.
I was flying through it, so I feel like I was even worse. I told you I didn't get to watch I didn't get to watch as much as I wanted to this weekend. I went back and watched some, but just a lot going on. Airports, college football.
Sean Brady, really good friends with Paige Pullman.
I found that out at Pup Punk, and I didn't even realize it, but I'm pretty sure, I think I said on the program, someone asked me if Sean Brady or Gilbert Burns was going to win. And I was like, oh, of course, Sean Brady. And I hadn't even really thought about the fight that much, but I was like, I'm in Philly. I can't say anyone but Sean Brady. And I think it was Paige's friend that I was talking to. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That literally like Sean Brady's friend was like, do you think Sean Brady's going to win? Thank God I said yes. And
we got to get him on the show. He seems just like a dude.
Yeah, I bet we could get him on the show. He seems like he's aware of Barstool at least.
They said his favorite, I think Felder said it, his favorite sport to watch is CrossFit. Like, what the fuck?
What? To watch?
Yeah, they said, they were talking about how fit he is, and he's like, yeah, he's so fit, his favorite sport to watch is CrossFit.
That's crazy. Let's talk about this card. Obviously, it's on DraftKings. We'll pull up the odds for everyone. We'll give a few picks here.
Chiwiwi starts off the night.
Oh my God, he starts off the actual night. You're right. Yeah. Because I guess they want everyone in their seats for the beginning of the movie as well. He's minus 850 to start off the night. Honestly, it reminds me a little bit of like WWE, how they'll start off cards with like an actual popular wrestler that everyone wants to see. And it's kind of a good way to get everything started vibes wise. He's obviously going to win this fight. It would be a weird vibe if he lost it right away. But it'll be cool to see. Yeah. The Chiwiwi entrance in the fucking Sphere.
There has to be a Chiwiwi part of the Sphere thing. Like,
yeah, it has to say it all. The whole globe is going to say Chiwiwi. It's going to be his face.
All right. Yeah. So it's not open on DraftKings yet, but I really like the under 1.5 here, like even up to like minus 210, minus 250 ish. I think Eric Lang, we know he doesn't have great takedown defense. We know he doesn't have great Brazilian jiu-jitsu on the ground. And I think he's going to take his back and he's going to submit in the first round. I guess you could take submission round 1. That's going to probably be like even minus money. I would just under 1.5 even takes you into the second round a little bit. And then also there's a chance that he just flattens him out and knocks him out and gets a TKO stoppage. I really like it. And Chiwiwi starts off the card, and Chiwiwi knows why he's there. He knows why he's there, and it's to get a finish early.
Yeah, I agree. Squash spot.
Yeah.
It's just like perfect matchmaking for him. Where like Jack said, a guy that doesn't have good takedown defense, he probably gets choked out here. I don't hit the under 2 in case he just clips Roses. The scenes if he just clips Roses to start the night. Also hilarious in the embedded. Roses has his own merch. Him just walking. Yeah. He's strutting around with his girlfriend, holding hands with her, going everywhere, like taking pictures. He's got his own his logo is hilarious. It's like the NBA silhouette. But
yeah,
and I couldn't tell exactly. It looked like it was him holding holding the sombrero next to him. Like it's a weird, it looks like just a huge blob. Like it's kind of strange. At first, I was thought he was making some pun, like he has gigantic nuts. I swear to God, that was the first thing. You got to see it when you get a chance. The silhouette he made for his logo. He made basically how Sugar made the jerseys. He basically just copied what Sugar's merch is.
Smart. If you're going to copy someone, copy a guy who sells it all.
It's actually not bad. It's just UFC 306, like a basketball jersey. It does it's green with red letters.
He's massive, bro.
He is. I noticed that at UFC X when I was doing the interviews, people would crowd around the Radio Row for the bigger fighters, and kids specifically go crazy for him. Kids think Chiwiwi is Skibbity Toilet funny.
Chiwiwi.
I'm not gonna kid. I'm not. Great call by Ev. He literally copied the Sugar Sean jersey. It's just a Chiwiwi shirt.
Are you looking at it right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at it on his IG. It's hilarious.
He did exactly, which I guess isn't a bad strategy.
Then we've got Edgar Chairez versus Joshua Van. Chairez is plus 180. Joshua Van minus 218. When did Van this summer? He got knocked out, right?
Yeah, he was killing it and then got clipped by Charles Johnson. It was heartbreaking.
Yeah. I like Joshua Van. I think I liked him in that fight. And I think I like him here as well, minus 218. I feel like I would probably play that too. I think I would bet 218.
Yeah, I don't Edgar Chairez, he's a pretty good fighter. I his path to victory is getting a choke here. But if he stands up with Joshua Van, I don't see a path for him. I like Joshua Van round 2, round 3 here. Just late on late. The under is probably going to be around under 2.5, probably around like plus 150 or so. I guess there's a you want to take that. You have both. There's a chance Van's coming off of a knockout recently, but I feel like it's not going to affect him that much. Yeah, Joshua Van round 2, round 3 is definitely where I'll be targeting this fight.
Yeah, I like Van. I'm a little worried. I feel like it was kind of a quick comeback. He got knocked out, like not bad, but like kind of. I mean, he got clipped in the temple, then like the vicious uppercut. I feel like I should have taken a little more. He's just so young. Like, I would just hate to see him like take this fight like short notice and lose another one when I feel like his future, like he has such a high ceiling. But no, I think he should win. But I'm a little bit worried.
Then we've got Yasmin Jauregui versus Caitlin Souza. Jauregui is minus 485. I don't know how much time we got to spend on this one.
Yeah. I think again, Yasmin round 2, round 3. Like I feel like she may get a finish here. Like that's why I'm kind of looking at this card, and hopefully Dana will up the bonuses. I think there's a lot of possibilities for unders here, and like some unders that are juiced up. Yasmin hits hard. Caitlin's just not very good. I think that's that. I mean, I wouldn't say she's awful. I think Yasmin's pretty good though. She's young. And I think this is a spot that the UFC wants her to, have a big moment.
Yeah, I think they're setting her up for get a finish here. I'll see what the inside the distance ends up coming out to later in the week. But yeah, I agree. I think she potentially, this could be like highlight reel, like make it look easy.
Then we've got Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes.
Oh, this is a banger.
Bahamondes plus 105, Torres minus 125. I do think this is a banger as well. This is going to be a great fight.
El Loco.
I think I would take Bahamondes in this.
So we haven't seen El Loco in round 2 or round 3. Maybe we have, but he's like, what's he going to look like? And we know Bahamondes, like, let's say he handles the distance kind of well. I mean, I sound like a broken record, but Bahamondes round 2, round 3. Like, why not? Yeah. But like, there's a chance El Loco comes out here and finishes him. This is going to be
just immediately again.
If you're Duncan, this is the fight. So like, if you're with your friends, when I'll like be like, we have to watch this.
I think I love El Loco.
Nice,
you do.
Even when I look at Bahamondes, I was even going back and like, he hasn't beaten anyone good, anyone. And I mean, you could make an argument that you could say the same for Torres. I wouldn't totally against that. I mean, of the two of them, would you argue the best win is Chris Duncan?
Probably.
Yeah.
Because I think when I looked at the two of them, I mean, he's 3-0, and Bahamondes is a couple of losses. He lost to Klein, which I don't think is like a bad loss. I think Klein's pretty good.
I would say Bahamondes, like, yeah, I mean, Bahamondes
like Giagos isn't good. I mean, like
Bahamondes' win against Ogden isn't bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. You can make it. Yeah.
But it was a decision, and El Loco
finishes
like that. El Loco is a killer. Is an actual killer. Yeah, I think he gets it done here. I like El Loco. I like Torres. The line actually just went up just a smidge.
The lines as we're talking are like moving a little bit. I'm seeing the updates.
They're less.
Maybe we're moving them by talking about them. Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. This one's basically a pick 'em. I think it's good matchmaking in a way. Like, I feel like this is probably going to be a pretty close fight. I would lean Aldana, but not super confident.
Like Aldana's gonna like Norma's weird because Norma's one of the fighters who's been fighting at like 145, that weird division that exists only to call Amanda Nunes a double champ, even though she's not. It's a weird division. Now she's down. Like I think Aldana's better than Norma, but like Aldana has some weird performances. Like Macy Chazon was just dominating her, and then she just like had one of the luckiest meme liver kicks of all time. And then like I just feel like this is a fight that there's going to be a lot of weird grappling. Norma will take Aldana down, and then Aldana will get up. They'll be against the cage. Aldana's a better striker, but if we get the plus money in Aldana, I think maybe I'll take a shot. But this screams split.
Yeah, I like Aldana too. Obviously, better striker. I think takedown defense would be good enough. Yeah, no, I like Aldana.
And then on to the main card. Normal time, 10 p.m. main card. Ronaldo Rodriguez takes on Ode Osborne. Ode Osborne plus 114. Rodriguez minus 135. This is a fight where Rodriguez does probably win, and I don't feel like super confident taking Ode Osborne. But if the odds get a little higher, maybe I will on Ode Osborne.
Me and Jack talked about this one yesterday. I think we're on the same page. I like Osborne a lot.
You do?
Yeah, I do. Rodriguez, I don't really understand why he's the favorite, to be honest. I feel like he's kind of been just like a can crusher. He went on a run. He got a contender series. He lost to Jerome Rivera, who is like respectfully a bum. 0-4 in the UFC. Got finished by like all guys, and some of them like really aren't even that good. Now he went on like had another 3-4 wins. He's back. Ode Osborne is like he's a legit vet. Like he's obviously had some losses in the UFC, but he's had some good wins too, some respectable wins. I think he should be the favorite. I'll take the vet. Like I think he's well-rounded enough. Like I wouldn't even be surprised if he like clips him and knocks him out or something. But yeah, I just don't understand. I don't understand this crazy hype about Ron Rodriguez. Like they're putting him on the main card. Like he's like this crazy, like hyped, like Mexican prospect that we're like putting on this big stage. Like he lost to Jerome Rivera in the contender series. Like he's not like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Like he's not. I just don't. I don't understand it. I don't know what they're seeing that this is going to be like this trajectory to like becoming this like Mexican superstar. Like I think Ode Osborne wins. I like Ode Osborne quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, like if you've lost a fight to Jerome Rivera, I don't know what to say. And I'm with Av, everything he said. Ode Osborne, I already took him, but I took him at like plus 110. He's up to plus 114. Still take him. I like him. I think he wins. I think he should be the favorite, just like F said. Ode Osborne kicks off the card with a nice finish, round 2.
Also, not to do MMA math, Ode Osborne knocked out Jerome Rivera in like 40 seconds.
True.
Not to do math, but MMA math.
Yeah.
That did happen.
That's a fact.
Then we've got Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovics. Zellhuber minus 238 and Ribovics plus 195. I don't know how to feel about it. Like probably Zellhuber, but I don't think he kills him. I think it's kind of a close fight.
This line, it was Ribovics plus 215 when we started recording this podcast.
Oh, wow.
Literally in the last like 30 minutes, this lines went down. We talked about this one too. I kind of like taking a shot. I would prefer, it's plus 195, so we're splitting hairs. I probably would like 200 or better, but I kind of like Ribovics at this price. I just think Robbie, I agree with you said. Like, I feel like it ends up being a close fight.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's a close fight. It's a striking fight. I think it's an exciting fight as well. Like, I think
this should be good.
Fight. This is the fight on the main card where it's like, I can see the casual fans like, who are these two guys? But then you see the fight and like, oh, this is a banger. Ribovics he had that crazy knockout of McKinney last time. He's definitely a fun fighter. Zellhuber's had some decent performances as well. I like Ribovics. I think Ribovics plus 200 or better. At 195, like twist my arm. If it's there fight day, I'll take it. But 200 or better on Reebok. I feel I'm willing to die on that sword.
Yeah, I agree. Like I feel like there's I'm waiting to see what the under is, because I might as well just take that. But if it's juiced too much, I may just end up on Reebok. Zellhuber has moments, but I don't know. He's kind of still like living off this hype that he may not be. Obviously, he has the body. He has theoretically the striking, but Reebok's I don't know. He could give him some issues.
And then not the co-main event yet. We're not up to that yet. Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez, the rebooked fight from UFC 303 was supposed to happen then, moved to a lightweight fight because it was like a short notice thing. Now it's finally happening at UFC Noche. Lopez minus 170, Brian Ortega plus 142. Is it crazy to say? I know the fight had a lot of weird circumstances, but the Dan Ige fight, Diego Lopez performed very well in it. But that fight kind of made me more confident in a Brian Ortega late win here, where it felt like at the end of the Dan Ige fight, Dan was sort of taking over. And we know Brian Ortega, like late is when you almost have to worry about him the most, where he could just snatch up something like that. I would probably take like Ortega round 2 or 3, maybe. Like I think he could even get a finish over Lopez. I think it'll be a great fight, but I'm taking Ortega.
This matchup is tough for me. I just have a hard time because my Lopez is my guy through and through. I agree with you. I said it to Jack Mack yesterday. It's weird because Lopez, his cardio has held up very well in other fights. Like even that he lost like a really close decision at Contender Series to Brito, it held up well. I mean, the Evlov fight is his debut on like whatever it was, like 10 days notice. It held up really well over 3 rounds. So I would like to chalk it up to just like the crazy circumstances. Cutting weight, up, down weight, like all these different changes, different opponents, everything going into it. But I agree where it's like I worry if Lopez is going to come out hot like he always does, and Ortega is kind of going to be a slow starter. He gets hit early. But if he doesn't get Ortega out of there, which like no one's ever been able to do early, ever, I worry like what's the fight going to look like when round 3 starts? And if Lopez is huffing and puffing and Ortega's like, all right, like now the fight starts now. I'm definitely worried about that. It's hard for me to lay minus 170 on Lopez because of that. Yeah, I might not play it, and just out of respect to both my guys and just wish for
you need the Mama Kelsey jersey. You need like
I
half
need
Ortega,
like
half Lopez.
Ortega, like my 2 sons.
Yeah.
I think if you're like a better, I think like an Ortega round 3 is almost like a principal play, like a algorithm play. Yeah.
It would actually be kind of funny if you just bet both sides and you're like, I'm losing the juice because I respect both these guys so much. Like I'm paying extra.
I'm just eating.
Yeah.
I'm eating the juice out of respect for
the love of the game. Yeah.
The love of the game. Now I agree with what I've said. I think round 2, round 3, if Lopez gets late, what happens if Ortega takes him to deep waters? I wish this was a 5-round fight. I'd be much more in favor of Ortega. The level of competition difference is not to say that Lopez has not fought good fighters, because he has, but Ortega's been in there with some killers, man, and he's survived. But if Lopez starches him in round 1, I mean, oh my God, he's a fucking megastar. Now, I haven't gotten yet to the point where I'm like, I want to bet Ortega, but I'm close. Actually, I am definitely will be there round 2, round 3, but overall, I mean, we'll see. I have to think about it a little bit more.
God, if he knocks him out first round, that really would be insane.
Yeah.
He would be guaranteed. Actually, you think he jumps Volk if he does that?
He may. Yeah, I think Dana could be high enough on him if he did it. Yeah, like in spectacular fashion. Yeah.
Oh man, that would be insane. But I also if you know, I mean, if you go start Ortega in round 1, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's insane.
You probably deserve it. I mean,
yeah. Then the co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko takes on Alexa Grasso again for the UFC Flyweight Championship, Women's Flyweight Championship. Alexa Grasso, or strawweight, flyweight. Alexa Grasso minus 135, Valentina Shevchenko plus 114. This is a tough one. The first fight was so close, so back and forth that like I would almost just be inclined to take the underdog in this fight and just be like, I'm taking the odds and hoping for the best. Like I could see Valentina winning this very easily. So I don't know. I probably won't bet on this fight.
I like Grasso. Valentina has relied so much on her physicality throughout her career. She's getting a little bit older now. She's 36. She's slowing down a little bit. Grasso's better on the feet. If she avoids takedowns enough, even if she gets her own takedowns, gets on top, I think she's dangerous, as she's shown. I like Grasso. I bet her at minus 122. She's up a little bit more. I still like her at this price. I think this is hers. It's the third fight. I'm not that concerned about finishing from Shevchenko. Yeah, I think the age, like she's no disrespect to her, she's just declining a little bit. And I think Grasso's, as she's shown on the feet, she's just better.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I was kind of going back and forth when I first was thinking about it, just because I think Shevchenko, the first fight was very close. Grasso was way better on the feet the first fight. That was apparent. But even Shevchenko was probably still winning up until the point that she kind of she threw that crazy like spinning kick and Grasso took advantage of it. Then the second fight, I mean, Grasso drops her. I think it was in the second round, but I mean, she gets a draw when Valentina lost a point. So in theory, like she doesn't lose that point, she wins and gets the belt back. But I agree, just the age factor. I just think, she's not. I think she's on the decline. She's getting older. I just feel like this is a kind of like it reminds me a little bit of kind of like the Moreno Figueiredo like last fight.
Yeah,
like I guess the quadrilogy for them, where like even though like Figueiredo had a great like third fight, and then like Moreno just kind of like close the door on it. I think Grasso kind of comes and like close the door on it. Just that he said
that'd be huge. Like that's the result. I like Valentina, but it's almost the result I want to see, being at the Mexican Independence Day card. I feel like that, and she's like, it's not like we have a Mexican in the main event, so this is almost like the Mexican main event. It'd be cool to like cap it off with a huge win. She'll get I assume the titles are going to be painted again like they were. The strap, that was fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. And then the main event, Sugar Sean O'Malley takes on Merab Dvalishvili. We have an interview with Merab dropping this week. Look out for it. He is plus 110 in this fight. Sean O'Malley minus 130. I think these odds have kind of been going back and forth since they dropped.
Totally flipped.
Yeah, it's tough. I like Merab. We interviewed him. Very nice guy and stuff. I'm a Sugar guy. I love Sugar Sean. I want to be rooting for him in this fight. I'm definitely going to bet on him, and I definitely believe he has the power to knock out Merab. We've seen Merab. We talked about this last week. We saw Merab get dropped by like Marlon Moraes and people with a lot less power in their hands than Sean O'Malley has displayed. So I'm on Sean. I'll probably take him like knockout first and second round.
Yeah, this opened. Sean was plus like 160, and I mean, it's easy to say now, but I love Sean as a dog. Now that he's minus 130, I don't. It's just tough to have the line move that much and still love it the same way. It's weird though, because I think Sean knocks him out. I really, really do. I just think the way that like Merab, listen, he never stops. His cardio is insane. I would imagine he's going to just spam takedowns, but I almost feel like that weirdly enough, I feel like that plays a little bit into Sean's hands. I really don't think he's going to be able to take Sean and just like hold him down. I really don't think that's going to happen. I think Sean eventually just like finds a shot that leads to like a few more shots and then like puts him down, ends it. He's plus 190 by knockout. I don't hate that. I just it's more just annoying because the line, like you could have got such a better line on a while ago, but
yeah,
you should have jumped on it then. It is what it is. But yeah, I think Sean wins. I'll probably end up betting at last minute, like kind of where obviously I just like want to root for him in this fight, and I really do believe in my mind, in my heart, that he's gonna win. But it's just tough when the line flipped that much.
Yeah, I bet Marab. I wouldn't have bet him at opening price or even as a favorite, but I got to plus 110 and I was just like, I wanted to bet him. I think what we saw with Aljo, uh, a lot of people are basing a lot of things off of that. And Aljo was kind of rushed after a lot of his fights. I think he was a little bit tired. And also he was he was hesitating a little bit getting throughout that fight. It felt like he was kind of flat. I don't think that would be an issue for Marab. Now, that being said, you may just end up getting, caught by O'Malley, which I put a 1 unit bet on Marab. So it's not like I'm like, oh my God, I love him here. I just think he gets it going. And then also like the upside of a Sean KO is huge. But outside of that, I mean, I know I think like Marab can really get the grappling going and really get Sean frustrated. We've never really seen Sean that frustrated. And I'm excited to see how it goes. If Sean knocks him out, credit to him. But I really like it at plus 110. But it continues to climb a little bit on some other like I wouldn't be surprised if I'm interested to see where this closes.
Yeah.
But crazy line movement, very interesting. I don't. So we'll see. I agree with that though. Like if it was plus 150, Sean, I think I would bet Sean.
I also wonder, honestly, Jack, what do you think if he doesn't fight? Say this fight was a little sooner and he like hadn't fought Cejudo. I feel like Merab stays a big favorite.
I think you're right.
Like I feel like him, like because he looked so good against Jan, so, like just the way he just totally dismantled him. And then he goes against Cejudo and he kind of like he gets clipped early. He like loses the first round. I feel like that kind of swayed the public. I feel like before that fight, everyone was like, "Oh, like Merab's gonna kill Sugar."
Agreed.
And then
he looked more invincible.
I feel like now it's become very like 50-50 on like public opinion.
Now, I agree with that, but let's say that Cejudo fight was a 5-round fight. I think people would have been like, Merab fucking destroyed him, 49-46. But that first round is going to be a little bit. I'm going to be a little bit concerned. I mean, Sugar's just like, yeah. Well, this is a great fight, man.
Do we want to put together a parlay? I know you got to get on Pick Central, Ev. I don't know if you have time.
Yeah, I just want to say quick. The difference I see with this, like, and him fighting Jan is the length.
Mm-hmm.
Jan doesn't have long arms. He's a shorter guy. I feel like taking down a guy like that, or even just putting the forward pressure on him, is much tougher when he has so much more range, and he uses it so well. Like, that's another thing. It's not like he doesn't have just like useless range. Like he uses it at an elite level.
I think O'Malley said he's going to finish him with the same sequence he finished.
I could see a
Almeida.
Sneaky. Don't sleep on a knee up the middle here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see that to a knee or the way I envision. I see either he lands like Merab's coming in, he lands a big shot that like rocks Merab, and then he just like boom, boom, boom combo, and that's the fight.
I almost picture like a short hook, like Conor did to Aldo. Like coming in like that, almost like a step back O'Malley punch. I don't know.
That'd be a hell of a call. I mean, he did it to Aljo. It kind of was a step back, you kind of
like I think a similar sequence in this fight.
I think.
Do we want to put together? It's kind of a hard card to put together a parlay, to be honest.
What if we do in terms of the ones like we've agreed on? What if
O'Day?
I was gonna say if we do like O'Day.
If you do O'Day, Zellhuber.
No,
you guys are on. Yeah.
What if we do O'Day? I feel like it's got to be 3 probably because we can say O'Day and Grasso.
We can wait for the like totals to come out, and we can let everybody know. Hey, check it out on Twitter.
I think that's a good idea. Like an under or an over or something.
Like I think we like the under in the Chiwiwi fight.
Yes.
And I think we even like the under, and like maybe we could take an under in Manuel Torres, Bahamondes, and then put O'Day there, and then Grasso.
I like that.
I like it.
So keep an eye on the Spin and Back Fist social media pages. And also, before we get out of here, just reminder, Bellator Champion Series London also going down on Saturday afternoon. So you'll have some fights to watch during the day before you get into UFC. McCourt in the main event. People are going to be going crazy for her versus Sarah Collins. It's a good card, and Bellator kind of like, I don't want to say they run Ireland at this point, but when you think MMA in Ireland for the past 10 years, the classic Bellator events with James Gallagher in the main event and Peter Queally coming out to Zombie, you think of those moments. So look out for Bellator Dublin. It's going, or Bellator London. Sorry. I keep that. We got confused.
I said it
Bellator
earlier.
London. He said it earlier because Liam Court is from Ireland. So we got all messed up there. It's London. Bellator London. Look out for it.
Archie.
Is it the OVO Arena? Is it Wembley?
It is at the OVO Wembley.
So
Archie Conlon.
Stick's still available if you want to go in person as well. If you're listening over across the pond over in the UK, go to Bellator London. It's going to be a great
Archie
event.
Conlon is fighting. He's an undefeated American. He is 10-0 wrestling background. He's going up against an undefeated Brazilian. He's only minus 225. Mark Diakese, D1 Diakese, is in Bellator now. He's fighting. And then there's some other interesting names on here. Simeon Powell is a fighter that has all the he looks like he could be a champ one day, but there's still some things to be seen with him. He's fighting. He's the co-main. Obviously, Johnny was supposed to be on this, is not.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, like they always put on good shows over there.
Check out Bellator London. Again, Bellator London. And it's on Max, which a lot of people have Max, which makes it very easy to watch. You know, you don't have to get a new streaming service. It's just on Max. So pull up Max where you watch all your HBO stuff and watch some fights this weekend. Whole weekend full of fights. Keep an eye on our social media pages for that parlay. And we will talk to you after the fights on Saturday.